In this lesson, which is the fourth part of the topic of sound, we will explore the audible range of sound as well as the difference between noise and music. And we'll also explore different types of musical instruments and see what causes noise pollution. Humans can hear sound, and that we have seen, or rather heard, or learnt in the earlier lessons. But then, do we hear all the sounds that are created? No, the human audible range of hearing is if the vibration is above 20 Hz up to 20,000 Hz. That's easy to remember. 20 is the lowest, 20,000 is the highest. Any sound that has a vibration of less than 20 Hz is called infrasonic sound, and these frequencies are called infrasonics. A pendulum is inaudible, meaning that it can't be heard because it was vibrating with a frequency of just 1 Hz or less. But even though we can't hear it, technically it is producing sound. A rhinoceros can hear and make sounds that are infrasonic. Beyond 20,000 vibrations per second, or 20,000 Hz, or you can say 20 kilohertz. Once again, it goes out of our audible range. These high frequencies above 20,000 Hz are called ultrasonic sounds, and these frequencies are called ultrasonics. Humans can't naturally create or hear ultrasonic sounds, but many animals can. Bats can create ultrasonic sounds, and they bounce them off obstacles in their path to make a sound-based 3D map in their heads, and that way they can navigate in the dark of the night. Humans use ultrasonic whistles that dogs can hear and are trained to respond to. We can blow them, but we can't hear them, but a dog nearby will react to it immediately. These inaudible sounds of frequencies greater than 20,000 Hz are called ultrasound. Ultrasound machines use these frequencies to literally see inside human bodies and even objects. The process is simple. The handheld device creates an ultrasound that has great penetrating power, and this sound goes into the solids and liquids, and this device receives the bounced back sounds from various obstructions or the organs. And like a bat, it then processes the information to digitally draw out the entire scenario inside the human body. Ultrasound is mostly used during pregnancy to see if the baby is fine within the womb of the mother. It is also used for diagnostic purposes in other parts of the human body. Diagnostic means to find or identify the problem. It is also used for mapping the floor of the ocean by ships and submarines. Ultrasound is also used in testing structures in industrial applications. They can use it to find cracks hidden inside the material. Interestingly, the speed of sound, whether it's infrasonic, audible, or ultrasonic, remains the same in any given medium. Supersonic is different from ultrasonic. While ultrasonic is about frequency, supersonic is about speed, and it means faster than the speed of sound, like these jets and rockets and bullets fired from a gun. In the audible range, sound can be noise or it can be music. And sometimes music can be noise. And at other times, noise can also be music. The human brain is constantly trying to process all the sounds that the ear can hear. That's how suddenly you know that there's a car screeching past and you have to be careful. Noise is a sound that is unpleasant. It has irregular vibrations and has no rhythmic pattern, like the sound from a drill machine or a vacuum cleaner. It can also become unpleasant if it's excessively loud as well, like constant honking of a car or fighter jets flying past or a loud aeroplane. A drill machine would sound like this. Even an old noisy washing machine would not be too pleasant to hear. But once my washing machine at home decided to make a loud sound in a rhythmic pattern, and suddenly the noise became music, and the type that some people even like. Musical sounds are the sounds that are pleasant to hear. And these are sounds which have regular vibrations and have a rhythmic pattern. Musical instruments are the objects or devices that can create music. Guitar, flute, drums. This is a small music box where the pattern of the music or the tune is already preset, and it creates music as the drum rotates. And this can always guarantee you a good music experience. But music instruments themselves don't create the music. So if you don't know how to play it, it will only create noise. It is the ability to create rhythmic patterns of sound that will turn the sound coming out into music. Same thing happens when one tries to sing and cannot hold a tune.
Much more simple. 1 millimeter is a grain of sand or star.
Even that becomes noise. Compare it to the actual song.
It's much more simple. 1 millimeter is a grain of sand. Start of your pimple.
Music is created when different frequencies of sound, called notes or swar in Hindi, are arranged in a way that is pleasing to hear. These notes can be sung by humans as well as they can be played on different instruments to make music. There are mainly 4 types of musical instruments: stringed instruments,
Comfortably numb.
wind instruments, membrane instruments, and plate instruments. Stringed instruments produce sound by the vibration of strings. Mostly a stringed instrument will have a few main parts. First, tightly stretched strings. It could be of various materials. These days it's mostly metal or nylon. Second, it will have a main body. Third, it will have a part where different notes can be produced. Fourth, and it has a part where you can hold the string and stretch them by tightening them. This would also be called tuning the instrument. The body is generally made of very thin and hollow wood because this part helps to enhance the vibrations of the string, and wood gives a very good sound. And then there are some unusual ones as well. Wind instruments can produce musical sounds by the vibration of the air columns inside them. Depending on the shape, size, and the main vibrating part, the sounds from each instrument is different. Most wind instruments will have these parts. First, a place to blow the air inside it, and this mostly has a small part that vibrates or causes the air column to vibrate by even splitting it. Second, it has some holes to help change the length of the vibrating air column. Third, a place for air to go out from. Here's a friend who's learning to play the flute. Listen to the beautiful sounds that come out of this simple bamboo instrument. Membrane instruments make musical sounds by the vibration of a thin stretched material. This mostly used to be made of dried animal skin, but now it could be artificial or synthetic as well. These instruments can be very basic with just a few parts. First, a stretched membrane. Second, a hollow cylinder to enhance the sound. Third, a mechanism or method of tightening the membrane to change the pitch or the scale of the sound. Here are some examples of membrane instruments: drum kits, duffli or tambourine, tabla, dholak, a bass drum. All these are also called percussion instruments because they vibrate when they are struck with the hand or a stick. Plate type instruments make musical sounds by the vibration of a plate. A plate is different from a skin because of its thickness and rigidity. Plate instrument can be most basic, sometimes with just one part, the plate itself, or in this case, 2 plates. This is a symbol that is used in devotional songs. And here's a symbol of a drum kit. And even this is a plate instrument, even though it's made of bamboo. Here's a perfect example of a plate instrument, and listen to the lovely sound it makes. See, as I fill more water in this container and keep striking it, the sound changes, and this is because the vibration changes due to different levels of water in it. For better sound, you need a thin-walled container, so something like this is good. The Jal Tarang is a simple way to create music where the sound is created by hitting glass or ceramic bowls filled with different levels of water. You can try it yourself. Now interestingly, even music can become noise pollution. What you might consider music, someone else might consider the same thing as noise, and you must be used to it. When you're at a wedding and there's loud music, you will dance to it. But if you're studying and the same music is playing outside, for you, now it is noise pollution. So when sound of any frequency is loud, unwanted, or disturbing the environment, it is called noise pollution. Examples of noise pollution are loud traffic, or a loud wedding band on the streets, loud factories, aeroplanes, and indoor sources of noise pollution are things like vacuum cleaner, drill machines, mixer grinder, loud music, factory floor with a lot of machine. Noise pollution can negatively affect humans in various ways. 1. It can directly affect hearing if it is too loud and continuous. 2. It can affect the concentration and can be quite distracting. 3. It can cause irritation and headaches, and that could lead to hypertension and even anger. And that is the cause of road rage sometimes. Four, it can disturb sleep patterns, which can be bad for health in the long run. Noise pollution can cause partial hearing loss in humans, so then you have to speak loudly for them to hear. And this can also happen due to old age as well. But then you also have hearing aids that people put in the ears, and that amplifies any sound to help them hear better. Total hearing loss is called deafness, and the person is said to be deaf. In that case, people generally use sign language to communicate. However, there are some deaf people who can play instruments just by the feel of the vibrations itself. So we need to control noise pollution, and that can be done by doing various things. We should avoid excessively loud music, not blow horns on the road unnecessarily, totally avoid bursting crackers as it also adds to air pollution. Factories should always be built away from cities where people stay. Unnecessary use of loudspeakers should be avoided. And it is always a good idea to plant trees and bushes on the roadside as they absorb a lot of the noise. Before we do a recap, let's take a look at this unique instrument. Would these be called thin plates, or would you call them thick strings? Either way, the sound it makes is beautiful. Now let's do a recap and move on to the DIY project. Sounds can be audible or inaudible. Audible means humans can hear it. Inaudible means humans cannot hear it. Human audible range is 20 Hz to 20,000 Hz. Sounds with frequencies below 20 Hz are called infrasonic sounds. Infrasonic frequencies are called infrasonics. Sounds with frequencies above 20,000 Hz are called ultrasonic sounds. Ultrasonic frequencies are also called ultrasonics or even ultrasounds. Ultrasounds have a good penetration power, so it has many uses like looking into the human body and mapping the ocean floor, amongst many other things. Noise in music. Noise is a sound that is unpleasant. It has irregular vibrations and has no rhythmic pattern. Musical sounds are the sounds that are pleasant to hear, and these are sounds which have regular vibrations and have a rhythmic pattern. Music can also turn into noise under some circumstances. Very rarely, noise can also turn into music if it follows a rhythm. Musical instruments. These are the objects or devices that can create music. Music instruments themselves don't create music. If you don't know how to play it, it will only create noise. There are 4 types of musical instruments: stringed instruments, wind instruments, membrane instruments, and plate instruments. Noise pollution. If the sound of any frequency is loud, unwanted, or disturbing the environment, it becomes noise pollution. Even music can turn into noise pollution under certain circumstances. Noise pollution is harmful for humans in different degrees based on different types of exposure. Partial deafness can be caused by noise pollution, and in some severe cases, it can even cause total deafness. There are various measures to control noise pollution. So like I mentioned earlier, musical instruments have the capability of creating music, But that doesn't mean every sound that will come out of it is going to be musical. On the other hand, if the musician is supremely talented, then they can create music out of anything. This DIY is totally unique and it's inspired by this amazing musician we have in our studio today.
Hey guys, I'm Montree. My mantra is reduce, reuse, retune. I create music instrument out of found objects.
Found objects.
Yeah.
So can you show us how to make some cool sounds?
Sure, if you could provide me few PVC pipe.
PVC pipes, I saw your videos and I'm ready with them. Great. So we have lots of them.
Wow, here we go. So now I'm gonna pick the basic smallest PVC pipe in this slot. And I'm gonna create a instrument. I'm gonna show you a PVC pipe didgeridoo. So this is just simple PVC pipe.
That was too good. Does the sound become different if it's a thicker pipe? So what we've got is some pipes and some reducers also. And I wanted to show the reducer is where the diameter of the pipe has been reduced here. And this is the original diameter of the pipe. So, but this is too big for the mouth, which is why we put the reducer.
Let me try. Thank you. Now that we finished this didgeridoo, I would like to show you one more piece of very percussive. I would like to have few more PVC
thicker
pipes.
ones.
Yeah, maybe a little more bigger ones.
Okay.
And
away.
we will see what we can create out of these pipes. I love PVC pipes nowadays. So great, let's do this. 2 pipes, put it together. Yeah, here it is.
So I saw it in one of your videos and I thought we'll prepare it. Something like that. It's
There
just
it is. So I would like to have something, maybe not this drumstick. Maybe I could some slippers.
slippers.
Yeah.
Once.
Let's see. Here we go.
So one thing we learnt in the lesson that when you change the length of the tube, then the sound will
Sound
change.
changes.
And that happens.
Yeah. So we could try that out.
We
If you
have prepared one. Cool. So that was we creating music or that was you creating music?
together.
So the notes, when it becomes longer, the note becomes higher or lower?
Longer is lower.
Longer becomes lower.
Yeah.
So-
Come closer, it's notes get higher.
Two questions came to my mind. One is how do you create this sound that when you play the didgeridoo? And the second one is how come you're not taking a break? The sound doesn't take a break when you're playing it. It's just as if it's one continuous long breath.
So the first one is a vibration between your lips. Answer to the second question, circular breathing.
So did you notice what he did? In the first and second breath, he did, but in the third one, he did, and he took a breath inwards at the same time. So that's the tough thing to master. But Montree is also going to show us how to practice breathing like this.
Here we go.
So you saw what was happening. He was while he was blowing the bubbles, he did not stop breathing. At certain intervals, he kept breathing in, but you notice that the bubbles never stopped, and that's the circular breathing.
If you have these techniques right in place, you can play anytime this instrument, didgeridoo.
And I'm going to practice this real hard, and I think you guys should also make this and try this at home. And that was amazing. Thank you. It has been a real privilege to have you in the studio today. I'll take this thing.
Yeah, I'm happy to share with my ideas with you while you study sound. And one more thing, one last thing, I'm gonna show you my travel kit. There we go. This is 4 pieces of PVC pipe. Place it together. The 4th one. There we go.
So that's all in this lesson of sound and music. In the next lesson, we move on to chemical effects of electric currents. See you there.